advise the general public that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled Senator Byron M. Bear Open Public Meeting Act, New Jersey Casino Control Commission on December 11, 2024, filed with the Secretary of State at the State House in Trenton an annual meeting schedule. On December 12, 2024, copies were mailed to subscribers. The use of cell phones in the public meeting room while the commission is in session is prohibited. Any member of the public who wishes to address the commission will be given the opportunity to do so before the commission adjourns for the day. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone who's joining us in person and remotely today. Meeting participants who wish to do so can continue to address the Commission through remote technology. We are also permitting in-person participation, and the public meeting room is therefore open. We will, however, continue to stream our public meetings. The public is able to listen through access provided on the Commission's website, as well as through our YouTube channel. We will accept public comments via email. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov beginning now. I will repeat that. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov beginning now and any time throughout the meeting, ending at the time of adjournment. This meeting is being transcribed as well as recorded, and minutes will be available on our website in due course. To meeting participant callers, I ask that you follow the instructions provided with the web link or audio call-in code and place your phones on mute until your matter is called. Also, when your matter is called, please turn on your camera and identify yourself before speaking. Thank you.
Good morning. When I call your name, please answer for the roll. Commissioner Molyneux,
Present.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Present.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Present.
Thank you. Matters discussed in closed session this morning included employee key license applications and an update in the matter of Call C versus Division of Gaming Enforcement, Casino Control Commission et al. The first matter for your consideration is the ratification of the minutes of March 12, 2025, public meeting.
Are there any questions for council or corrections?
No. No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to ratify the minutes of the March 12th, 2025 meeting.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Number two, applications for initial casino key employee licenses. Item 2C has been adjourned till the May 2025 public meeting. Additional items to be considered are Alexander T. Byros, Sebastian M. Bremer, David F. Holly III, Fred Eric L. Lorenzo, Timothy J. Marks, Lourdes J. Melendez Ramos, Olivia A. Rosado, Michael A. Scolavino, and Michael L. Swank. The matter of Timothy J. Marks will be identified separately. The remaining 8 initial casino key employee license applications have been reviewed by the Division of Gaming Enforcement Commission staff with a recommendation that those licenses be granted.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the 8 initial casino key employee licenses.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item 2F, Timothy J. Marks. The division has interposed an objection. Staff has reviewed it and recommend that that matter be remanded to the contested case process.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to remand for a hearing the initial casino key employee license application of Timothy J. Marks.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 3 are applications for resubmitted casino key employee licenses and/or for qualification. They include Christine A. Boxer, also known as Christine A. Visconti, also known as Christine A. Gayetve, Peter N. Sicioni, Carlos F. Collin, Linda A. Cummins, also known as Linda A. O'Donnell, Rajesh Das, Mario DeSantis Jr., Frank M. Doshio, Christinelli N. Dow, also known as Christinelli N. Johnson, Patricia A. Finneran, also known as Patricia A. Arndt, Ming M. Flesh, Diana M. Gilmartin, also known as Diana M. Starkey, also known as Diana M. Chopal, Owen M. Hominy, Ernest Isgro Jr., Wayne A. Kasnashmi, Curtis H. Lane Jr., Frank D. Leone, Adrian M. Mitchell, Batron L. Nguyen, Raymond C. Parker, Michael A. Petta, Frank G. Policastro, Franco A. Politi, Gloria F. Riley, also known as Gloria F. Smith, Michael E. Rodriguez, Michael K. Sampson, Michelle L. Saxon, also known as Michelle L. Friday, Gregory A. Schaaf, Warder E. Silcott, Patricia A. Smith, also known as Patricia A. Bradley, John P. Spolin, Joseph A. Stickle, Richard M. Tartaglio, also known as Richard M. Cartaglio, Alonzo C. Tennant, Donna F. Ward, also known as Donna F. Fiedler, Elizabeth Wenzel, also known as Elizabeth Wenzel Torado, and Keith W. Wynn.
Are there any questions regarding
One
any
second,
of?
Mr. Chairman. Let me just break out. There are several that will be called separately. They would include Michael Rodriguez, Christine Boxer, Peter Sicioni, Frank Policastro, Michael Sampson, and Donna Ward. The remaining 30 that I've identified have been reviewed by the division and commission staff with the recommendation that those 30 resubmitted casino key employee licenses be granted.
Are there any questions regarding these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the 30 resubmitted casino key employee licenses.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it.
Thank you. With respect to Michael E. Rodriguez, his matter involves a resubmission application as well as a multi-casino endorsement to remain Director of Regional Procurement for Hard Rock and Boardwalk 1000. No objection has been raised with respect to his application, and it is recommended that it be granted.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the resubmission application of Michael E. Rodriguez for a casino key employee license with a multi-casino endorsement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-91.1.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, ayes have it.
The remaining names require a roll call vote in that they include a request for continued qualification. The first is Christine A. Boxer to continue to serve as Vice President Hospitality, Boardwalk Regency Corporation, LLC, Harrah's Resorts Atlantic City, and Tropicana Atlantic City. And her resubmission also includes a multi-casino endorsement and continued qualification. No objection has been raised with respect to the application, and it is recommended that it be granted.
Are there any questions for council regarding this matter?
No.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant resubmitted key license with a multi-casino endorsement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-91.1 and qualification.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
The next is Peter N. Sicione to continue to serve as Director of Sales for Premier Entertainment AC LLC. Again, no objection has been raised, and the request for resubmission and continued qualification, we recommend that it be granted.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant resubmitted key license and qualification.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
The next matter is Frank G. Policastro to continue to serve as Vice President of Casino Operations for Premier Entertainment AC LLC. Again, no objection has been raised, and it is recommended that this request be granted as well.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant resubmitted key license and qualification.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Next matter is Michael K. Sampson to continue to serve as General Manager for Boardwalk 1000 LLC and for Hard Rock Atlantic LLC. His matter involves a resubmitted key license with multi-casino endorsement and continued qualification. Again, no objection has been raised, and we recommend that the application be granted.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant resubmitted key license with a multi-casino endorsement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-91.1 and qualification.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
And the last, Donna F. Ward to continue to serve as Vice President of Sales for Hard Rock Atlantic City LLC. Again, this matter has been reviewed, no objection has been raised, and we recommend that the request be granted for resubmission and continued qualification.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant resubmitted key license and qualification.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 4 are approvals through delegation of authority between March 1, 2025 and March 31, 2025 pursuant to resolution number 22011211B. We have Assistant Director Patrick Eeler here to review those matters with you. However, no vote is required at this time.
Good morning, Chairman Pelosi, Vice Chair Cooper, and Commissioner Molyneux. For the record, I am Patrick Eeler, Assistant Director, appearing on behalf of the Regulatory Affairs Division. Between March 1st and March 31st, 2025, The staff of the Commission's Regulatory Affairs Division granted the following approvals via its delegated authority. On March 10th, 2025, temporary casino key employee licenses were granted to Nicole A. Blaylock, also known as Nicole A. Hanley, for a dual-rate slot services supervisor and shift manager position at Tropicana Atlantic City. To Darcy A. Borden, also known as Darcy A. Was, for a poker shift manager position. Daniel R. Chapman for a casino operations manager position, and Tammy C. Morelli, also known as Tammy C. Stegall, for a poker shift manager position, all for Borgata. On March 12th, 2025, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Raymond E. Morales for a poker shift manager position at Borgata. On March 14th, temporary casino key employee license was granted to Alexa C. Hart for a dual-rate surveillance officer and surveillance supervisor position at Resorts Atlantic City. On March 18th, 2025, temporary casino key employee licenses were granted to David Rollo and Amy Wong, also known as Tak Y Wong, both for poker shift manager positions at Borgata. On March 19th, temporary casino key employee license was granted to Corey C. Schmidt for a dual-rate poker supervisor and poker shift manager position at Harrah's Atlantic City. On March 24th, temporary casino key employee licenses were granted to Daniel G. DeFrancesco for an internet gaming manager position at Resorts Atlantic City, and to George McLean III for a surveillance shift supervisor 2 position at Borgata. On March 26, 2025, temporary casino key employee license was granted to Dazhona A. Moses for a count room lead position at Borgata. And on March 31st, 2025, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Joseph Gerace V for a dual-rate security supervisor and shift manager position at Ocean Casino. This memorializes the approvals that were granted by the Commission's Division of Regulatory Affairs via its delegated authority during this period. No further Commission action is required. Thank you.
Agenda item number 5 are requests for inactivation of casino key employee licenses. Again, we have Assistant Director Ealer who will review those items with you.
In lieu of filing a casino key employee license review application, the following individuals have requested to be placed on the casino key employee license approved inactive list. Jean G. Haas, also known as Jean G. Madeira, and Jean G. Garcia, and Richard M. Secocia. If the requests are granted, these individuals may remain on the approved inactive list for a period of up to 5 years. Commission staff has reviewed these requests and recommends that you grant the requested relief.
Are there any questions on either of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the requested relief and order that the 2 casino key employee licenses be inactivated.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 6 is consideration of the lapsing of casino key employee licenses. Again, Assistant Director Ealer will review those with you.
At this time, for your consideration is the lapsing of the casino key employee licenses of the following individuals who have failed to file a casino key employee license review application or request to be placed on the casino key employee license approved inactive list. Andrew C. Buchanan Jr., Jonathan Carrion Martinez, Patty C. Chang, also known as Chi Yu Chang, Gary L. Edwards Jr., Kerwin C. Hampton Jr., also known as Kip Hampton, Thomas J. Leonard IV, and Joseph R. Sorath. In each of these cases, the casino key employee license review application filing deadline has passed. Based on our review, staff recommends that the casino key employee licenses of these individuals be deemed to have lapsed.
Are there any questions on any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to find that the 7 casino key employee licenses lapsed pursuant to NJAC 19:41A-6.1F of the regulations.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 7 is consideration of the initial application of Jenny Dumas for a casino key employee license. We have Senior Counsel Pimpinelli, who will review that matter with you.
Morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Jenny Dumas for her casino key employee license. If approved, her license will be valid through April of 2030, subject to certain conditions. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Ms. Dumas was notified of today's proceedings. I would just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's report along with a stipulation of settlement that has been entered with the applicant. The division respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted and recommends the granting of the applicant's casino key employee license, subject to the terms and conditions of the stipulation. Thank you.
And for the record, the applicant is not here. Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Jenny Dumas for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 8 is consideration of the initial application of Jaden T. Moselle or Moselli for a casino key employee license. Again, we have Senior Counsel Pimpinelli, who will review that with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing again for the Commission. For your consideration is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Jada Moselle for her casino key employee license, which will be valid through April of 2030, subject to certain conditions if approved. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Ms. Moselle was notified of today's proceedings. I would just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's report along with the stipulation of settlement that has been entered with the applicant. The division respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted and recommends the granting of the applicant's casino key employee license, subject to the terms and conditions of the stipulation. Thank you.
Again, for the record, the applicant is not here.
Correct.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Jaden T. Moselli for a casino key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 10 is consideration of the initial application of Ashok A. Lamone for a casino key employee license. Again, we have Senior Counsel Pimpinelli to review that with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission again. For your consideration is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of aren't we supposed to be doing?
Did I miss one?
Nine.
I think you jumped 9.
You
All right,
missed
we'll
9.
just do 10, and then we'll come back to 9.
Like, that's how we're
Thank you, sorry about that.
For the initial application of Ashok Lamone for his casino key employee license, if approved, it will be valid through April of 2030. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Lemon was notified of today's proceedings. I would ask counsel for division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney for the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's report along with a stipulation of settlement that has been entered with the applicant. The division respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted and recommends the granting of the applicant's Casino Key employee license, subject to the terms and conditions of the stipulation. Thank you.
Again, for the record, the applicant is not present.
Correct.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Ashak A. Limon for a Casino Key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Now, I wonder why everybody was giving me funny looks. Let's go back to item number 9, which is consideration of the initial application of Philip Chiaretto for a Casino Key employee license. Again, we have Senior Counsel Pimpinelli to review that with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Philip Schiaretto for his Casino Key employee license. If approved, his license will be valid through April of 2030, subject to certain conditions. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Schiaretto was notified of today's proceedings. I would just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's report along with the stipulation of settlement that has been entered with the applicant. The division respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted and recommends the granting of the applicant's Casino Key employee license, subject to the terms and conditions of the stipulation. Thank you.
Again, for the record, the applicant is not present.
Correct.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Philip Schiaretto for a Casino Key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 11 is consideration of the initial decision in the matter of the appeal of a C for removal from the self-exclusion list. Again, we have Senior Counsel Pimpinelli that will address that with you.
Chairman, Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is the February 19th, 2025 initial decision of Hearing Examiner Cooper for this matter. Hearing Examiner Cooper found that appellant failed to demonstrate he was improperly placed on the self-exclusion list. You have the complete record for this matter. I would ask the division to enter their appearance and proceed, and I just remind the parties appellant's identity is confidential.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Gina DeNundas, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On or about March 18, 2022, the appellant placed himself on the self-exclusion list, and he did that voluntarily and knowingly. The appellant then wrote to the division and had expressed that he was a victim of identity theft, and that's what caused him to be placed on the self-exclusion list. And he was asking that we remove him from the self-exclusion list. He later retracted the claim that he was placed on the self-exclusion list without his permission, and he admitted that he placed himself on the self-exclusion list and that he didn't realize the consequences when he did so. And he asked that we now remove him from the self-exclusion list. The appellant's actions were of his own free will, and were solely a result of his choice to not carefully read the consequences that came with the self-exclusion process. It was a thorough process that he went through, and he went through all of the steps, and he did so voluntarily. So at this time, the division just asked that the full commission adopt the hearing examiner's February 19th, 2025 decision and deny the appellant's request for early removal from the self-exclusion list. Thank you.
Appellant is not present.
He's not present. Thank you. Are there any questions for council?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the initial decision and find that the appellant failed to demonstrate that he did not intentionally place himself on the division's self-exclusion list, as required by NJAC 13:69G-2.2C, and deny his request to be removed from the division's self-exclusion list prior to his March 18th, 2027 expiration date.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 12 is the consideration of the initial decision in the matter of the appeal of MW for removal from the self-exclusion list. Again, Senior Counsel Pimpinelli will address that with you.
Morning again, Chairman, Commissioners. Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is February 19, 2025, initial decision of Hearing Examiner Cooper for this matter, Hearing Examiner Molyneux for this matter, which is an appeal of the Division's October 24, 2024 final agency decision. You have the complete record for this matter, including appellant's exceptions, all of which have been subject to applicable confidentiality and privacy requirements. Appellant is present, and I would ask that the division and appellant enter their appearances and proceed, and I just remind all parties, appellant's identity is confidential. Mr. Appellant, you can just use your initials.
Okay.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Gina Dianantis on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Sir, you'll have to be sworn in, but again, you can use your initials. Darrell?
Okay, I'll be sworn in.
Yes, would you please stand and raise your right hand?
Stand, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your initials for the record.
It's MW.
Thank you. You may be seated.
You may begin.
I may begin? Okay. All right, first of all, I want to thank everybody for this opportunity to clear my name. I never logged into a sports, let's see, I'm a little nervous, I'm sorry. I never logged into my website to use, it was called PointsBet. I never went into a site to get myself into a self-exclusion. That never happened at all. What happened was, upon login, I was directed and asked a number of questions. So many questions about deposit limits. It went over and over and over again, okay? Had nothing to do with the responsible gambling site. The first time I learned about the responsible gambling portal was when Ms. Dianitis mentioned it. I had a hearing back in December 20th, and she said that that's what I did. That's not what happened, okay? So, and at that point, I didn't know what was going on. I was just trying to prove at the time that I didn't have a gambling problem. I tell you one thing, I didn't lose. So over the course in 2023, I probably made 3,000 bets over the course of 9 months and lost $121, okay? I was maybe doing 300 bets a month, okay? Every one of my deposits for 90% were $50, and I was making $8 bets. I was doing all little parlays, no harm to anybody, whatever. So what happened in September, and this is what I figured out after the hearing. So what happened in September was I had a number of complaints to them. I went into their live chats. I said, we're having a problem with this, we're having a problem with that. I don't know how many times I went into their live chats. Then I sent them out 9 emails, okay? So I believe I got on their radar, okay? So it was only 2 weeks later, upon login, and it was in the afternoon. And in the afternoon, I was trying to log in just to see what my figure was. And I started getting asked all these questions. Do you want to have a $1,000 deposit limit? Do you want to have a $1,000 deposit limit? Well, and I have records of this. Over 90% of my deposits are $50, okay? So they were asking me all these questions, and I suppose I should have just said, yes, I want a $1,000 deposit limit. But it was annoying, and I was logging in just to see what my figure was. So this is going on like this. I didn't know what the word exclusion meant. I thought it meant, so I wanted to be excluded from this line of questioning about $1,000 deposit limits. This goes on and on and on. It just keeps going on to us. I'm not into the website yet. I'm just logging in. So what I am accusing PointsBet is something sinister. I got on their radar. They wanted me out. Now, me saying that I made maybe 3,000 bets, so I was probably costing them money, and they weren't making any money. I can prove this. I lost $121. I had 3 payouts, even recently, like close to $1,000 where I won at the end of August, and here I am September 19 trying to exclude myself. So she will say that I went into the site because she's only listening to their word. They are lying, okay? And this is a problem. They are lying, and you should be looking into them. I will take a lie detector test. I swear on my children's lives, my wife's life. I'm married 36 years. I've worked for the same company, Global Data Communications, for 30 years. I'm nothing but consistent on everything, okay? So I was railroaded here. I have done nothing wrong. I've been slandered. I can't go to a casino. I don't go to casinos. All I do is these little harmless, little silly bets. He'll probably remember, we were back in the day, we had little sports tickets we got in towns. You make a $10 bet, you pick 3 or 4 teams. That's all I did, totally harmless. I didn't do anything, but I got onto PointsBet's, which I'm called Radar, I suppose, okay? Why did I join PointsBet? Another mistake, okay? So I have a desktop computer. I'm trying to log into DraftKings. I don't have a locator on my desktop. I didn't realize this. I spent hours trying to log in, but I can't because I can't have the locator. So now I'm trying to do FanDuel. I can't do it. Then it finally dawns on me, let me break out my laptop. Let me see what else can I do. And I tried to do William Hill, and I log into PointsBet. Who's PointsBet? They're an off-site Australian company, which I find out, right? So I log into them on my laptop, and yes, now it works, and now I'm in, right? Big mistake, okay? So they don't have the capability of a FanDuel and a DraftKings. And then in the months when I have problems, I complain about the problems. I called them out on everything, and I have the emails to prove it, okay? I have the deposits that I made. I have those copies of that, $50, over 90% of all my deposits. That's all I did, all small little bets. And what I did was, I guess I got on their radar. So I don't know how many complaints I may have made to their chats, but then I sent 9 emails out, and then a couple weeks later, I find myself in this mess, okay? So while I find myself in this mess, I'm talking to their chats, I'm sending them out emails, okay? And as I send out the emails, it's within an hour of finding out, I don't know what's happened to me. I don't know why I can't get into the website. I don't understand this. I don't understand what the word exclusion means. That's just all new to me. I wanted to be excluded from this. So when they asked me, do you want to be excluded from this for 1 year? I said, absolutely. Do you want to be excluded from this for 5 years? I said, yes. Okay? Thinking, was excluded from this questioning, do I want to have $1,000 deposit limits? I should have just said, yes, I want to have $1,000 deposit. None of this pertained to me, right? So, let me see. I'm just referring to some of my emails I have, and I have many emails. So within, like I said, an hour, I was saying how immediately I was asked these questions upon login, and I say this over and over again. And this is now 19 months of saying upon login, this happened to me. She will say that's not what happened to me because she'll take them at their word. Another thing, PointsBet doesn't even exist anymore. They got bought out by a company, Fanatics. So I'm banned by a site that doesn't even exist anymore. Now, you could say, well, they exist in another thing, they got bought out. But again, I never went into the responsible portal. I never did. I swear to God in my children's, my wife's life, I swear to God, I would take a lie detector test. I did not do this. So another thing she'll say, oh, if we let MW back in, this will open up portals. I don't think it opens up any portals. I mean, things to other people. I'm totally different than anybody you've ever had. I think what they did to me, and they did it on purpose, and I think they hacked it. They're not going to have any record on this. It's embarrassing. They didn't think they'd have someone like me that was going to fight this for 19 months, and I have. I sent out email after email, and I said the power of consistency. Like Andy Dufresne, who was wanting to get books for his library and the Shawshank Redemption, I'm not going to quit. I did nothing wrong, Spoke to a friend of mine, he's an attorney. He goes, Marty, you need an attorney. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to have you down here and waste your time. I've done nothing wrong. I had done nothing criminally wrong. Only mistake I made, two mistakes. One was choosing a PointsBet because I was using my desktop computer. And two, I should have just said, yeah, I want $1,000 deposit limits. I wouldn't be here right now facing you, okay? So another thing, let's see. And again, they have motive. Their motive was because of everything I did to them. The fact that I probably made about 3,000 bets, I was probably costing them money, okay? So I'm costing them money. I'm making $9 bets, $8 bets, $7 bets, $5 bets. I'd call them out if they owed me $1.25. I called them out. I called them out constantly, right? So again, so I was saying this happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. She got word that, oh, this happened in the evening, okay? So like calling me out as I'm a liar. And this went on for a while. And then all of a sudden I was able to produce an email. Said, here's the email. I emailed them an hour later. So how could this have happened at 9 o'clock in the night, as they say? So then they go, oh, well, it was UTC time. UTC time, like we all go by Eastern time, Pacific time, Central time. They kind of made up something, UTC time, and that's Greenwich time, okay? I mean, that's pretty much of a stretch, and this is what an Australian company would do. And I suppose I was an annoying American to them, and they just wanted to get rid of me, you know? So what else? And again, there's me telling the truth again about the time. So maybe I'm telling the truth about the whole thing, okay? I'd like to make this aware of what happened. So you had a gaming site that maliciously, intentionally got me kicked out and slandered me. Like again, you know the other thing too is I'm someone that likes to do horse racing, okay? So, and I don't do it all the time, but I bet on the Derby. I bet on the Preakness. I bet on the Belmont. I bet on the Haskell. I bet on the Travers. I have friends like this. I no longer can do that. You know, there's casinos here I can't go to. My sisters go to them all the time. I get teased. It is funny because I did this to myself. They said, only you, Marty, you know? But it's not fair, and it's the worst thing to be fair and accused of something that you didn't do, okay? This is wrong. This is really just entertainment for me, okay? Like, I don't bet $1,000 in a game, $500 a game, $100 a game. I don't do it, okay? All my bets are small. Occasionally, if I run my number up, get it over $1,000, I pull it out. Only time I do that, okay? So I don't pull out small amounts. I'm disciplined. I do it that way. I had 3 disbursements in the year of 2023. Let's see, March 28th, I got $999, round numbers, $1,000. On June, I got $1,799. And then on August 29th, I got $998. So then 3 weeks later, I would exclusion myself, and I lost $121 for the entire year. Why would I do that? Again, I never went into this portal. I swear to God, I wish I could do a lie detector test. No floodgates will open up by allowing me to get in. I am a total exception to the rule here. I am not like any other person you've had. I could talk about the consistency of myself, married 36 years, worked for the same company 30 years. I don't even have to be here today, but I came today, okay? I felt it was important, right? Another thing about myself, both my daughters, one daughter lives in Barnegat, one daughter lives in Waretown. When my youngest daughter found out where her sister lived, she moved to be closer to her, okay? What we did was we lived in Morris County. We come down and visit our daughter all the time. I'm a family man. We decided to move down to be where our kids are. I just moved to Manahawkin just 2 weeks ago. I'm a family man, solid. I wouldn't lie. This is totally wrong. This is wrong. It's wrong that you guys have a website like this that would do something like this. You know what? I'm really kind of heartbroken too because again, like I can't go to, I can't place horse racing bets. I can't do this and that, whatever. The other day, I was down in this area. I wanted to, place a bet. I was with my wife. We wanted to put a pool in our backyard, above ground pool. My oldest daughter's having a baby. And I realized, wow, I'm near Atlantic City. I like to place a bet on these March Madness games. I can't, I can't do that, And again, I did this to myself on the mistake that I made by not just ask and say, yes, I want $1,000 deposit limits. 90% of my deposits are $50. That could be proven. I've shared this with everybody. But again, I appreciate and thank everybody that they've listened to me, because of the first gentleman I reached is, I can't pronounce his name, last name, YT Chauvin or something. He kept saying, like, you did this to yourself. And I didn't. The other thing, too, is when I was reaching out to PointsBet, they never once said to me, you went into our responsible gambling portal and you did this to yourself. They didn't, because they know I didn't, okay? And I would ask so many of my friends who were on FanDuel and DraftKings, I said, do you ever, like, upon logging, get asked all these questions? Did this ever happen to you? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I just figured it was happening to everybody. So this is what they're doing. And this is in my emails, too. So for 19 months, total consistency, upon login, I'm asked this, okay? I mean, I don't know what else I can say, how this is not true, but I hope that you guys can say, hey, I think he has a little integrity. He didn't have to be here. He's in here. I respect everyone's opinion here. I think I deserve a second chance. I think I deserve the benefit of the doubt. I did not do this. I probably need an attorney here, but I am not guilty of anything either. You can ask me any kind of questions you want.
Thank you. On or about September 19th, 2023, the appellant placed himself on the New Jersey self-exclusion list, and he did that through the PointsBet application. And when he did that, he chose a 5-year self-exclusion term. The appellant went through many detailed steps to confirm the self-exclusion. Specifically, the process is very detailed and thorough so that the patrons fully understand what they are choosing, what they are electing to do. The detailed process that and it's a detailed process, and the applicant can take as much time as they need to go through this process. Specifically, upon login, the appellant would have needed to go to the responsible gaming section of the PointsBet application. In the responsible gaming section, there would be a section where they could choose a deposit limit, they could set a spend limit, they could set a time on site limit, and they could do a cool off or a self-exclusion. Through this responsible gaming section of the application, the appellant would have needed to go to the self-exclusion process and choose self-exclude. And that's when there would then be pop-ups that would come that would be a waiver and release and an acknowledgement page that they would have to go to. So the argument that upon login, the appellant was immediately met with a pop-up that had both questions regarding deposit limits and self-exclusion is simply inaccurate here. No one logs in and are met with this line of questioning. They would have to go to the responsible gaming section to find both the deposit limits and the self-exclusion process. And once you go into the responsible gaming, you would have to set a deposit limit to then have the questions asked to the appellant about the setting deposits. Additionally, they would then need to specifically choose self-exclusion, which is in the cool-off section, and it's not related to setting deposits, and they are substantially different processes that would have to have been gone through. Once self-exclusion is chosen, there's then a very thorough process that he would have to have gone through to then finalize the self-exclusion process. And the checks and balances are there for a reason. And in this particular matter, it has been proven that the appellant went through the self-exclusion process, and the final question, or the final step of that process, there was a code that was set to his cell phone. At that time, he would have had to have gone to his cell phone, taken the code, and then put it back on the application. He would have to have put the code in the application, and that would finalize the self-exclusion process. It was confirmed through PointsBet, and the division confirmed that this process he followed every step, and he finalized the self-exclusion process by using that code and putting it into the application. He did that at 3:16 p.m., and that's exactly when the code was sent to his phone at 3:16 p.m., and he then took the code and immediately self-excluded at 3:16 p.m. The time zone argument made by the appellant, the division submits that that's irrelevant here. The PointsBet submitted their documentation to the division in coordinated universal time zone. which is 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. Therefore, the division then confirmed that the appellant received a text message code to his phone at 3:16 p.m., which would have been 8:16 p.m. in UTC time zone. And this is PointsBet is an Australia-based company, and UTC is used in Australia. At that time, the appellant finalized the self-exclusion process immediately after receiving the code. The appellant's actions here were of his own free will and solely a result of his choice to not carefully read or understand what he was electing when choosing self-exclusion through the PointsBet application. Allowing the appellant to be removed from the self-exclusion list at this time, simply because he now regrets his decision, would undermine the self-exclusion process. And further, the division submits that, again, none of the New Jersey online operators attempt to entice patrons into self-exclusion by immediately meeting them upon login with these pop-up questions regarding self-exclusion. And additionally, there would not be any self-exclusion questions would not be combined with setting limits questions. They're two separate processes, and they're substantially different. The PointsBet self-exclusion process is completely different from the setting limits for setting deposit limits, and would have been needed to be entered into in the responsible gaming portion of the application. And he would have had to have chosen setting limits, or he would have to choose to self-exclude. They're two separate portions of the responsible gaming application. The appellant admits to not reading through the self-exclusion process and to allow the appellant early removal from the self-exclusion list due to his admitted actions would undermine the integrity of the self-exclusion process. Additionally, in one of the emails that the appellant sent to the division, he specifically stated, "I made a mistake. I'm embarrassed by this. I answered wrongly." So the appellant admits many times that he simply just did not read through the process. And at this time, it would undermine the self-exclusion process completely if we were to allow this appellant off the self-exclusion list simply because he chose not to read through the self-exclusion process, which is extremely detailed, and it's detailed for a reason. So we don't have anyone making a mistake. And so that each applicant is able to understand the consequences that come with self-exclusion. The division submits that the appellant's submissions regarding his gaming history, specifically stating that he's a small wager person, are irrelevant to the arguments here. However, the division does submit that it's important to clarify that from September of 2020 through September of 2023, which was the appellant's time on the PointsBet application before self-exclusion, the appellant deposited $14,853, and he lost a total of $7,122.08. The division submits that that's a significant loss in 3 years, and it's not consistent with the gaming history that was provided by the appellant. And the appellant's history that was provided is simply inaccurate here. There's been a over $7,000
Is that
loss
in 3 years?
3 years.
3 years.
So at this time, and due to the totality of all the circumstances, the appellant has not submitted any new arguments, and the division asks that the full commission adopt the hearing examiner's decision rendered on February 19, 2025, denying the appellant's request for early removal from the self-exclusion list. Thank you.
I like to address a couple things I said.
Go ahead, sir.
I did admit that I made a mistake, and I made a mistake as they asked me these questions, okay? And I, not understanding what they meant, and I said I made a mistake, okay? But again, I'm gonna swear I never went into that portal. That never happened, okay? Another thing that she was saying, she's saying this didn't happen in the afternoon, this didn't happen in the afternoon, this whole thing didn't happen in the afternoon, only when I produced an email, okay, showing that I complained to them an hour later, okay, then they had to go back and say, yeah, it did happen in the afternoon, right? You have to admit that. She won't. okay? So I realized her job is to keep anybody that's excluded to be excluded, okay? All right, fine, okay? I do not open up any floodgates by allowing me back in, okay? Because I am a total exception to the rule here. This is definitely special here. And I still stay on this happen upon login. So here's another thing too. So you're gonna say that I made up this thing about upon login within 1 hour. Okay, so in 1 hour, I exclude myself, I go into the site, blah, blah, blah. And again, in the year of 2023, I lost $121. If you go back 3 years, I guess $7,000. But that's 3 years, right? You can do the math, that's really, probably started sometime in 2020 during COVID, okay? So whatever, okay? But anyway, within 1 hour, I complained to them and saying upon login, and I stayed with that story all the way through, total consistency for 19 months. But again, I made it up in 1 hour that this is what happened to me. That's a lot of imagination, I'd have to say. And again, I'd never change my story. So I know it's her job to keep me out, and I'm telling you, you have to listen to me, that that's not what happened to me. It's not what happened. I never went into that portal. I will swear to God, and if you folks could give me a lie detector test, I would love to take it. That's how positive I am.
Questions for counsel or for the witness? Go ahead, Commissioner Cooper.
Mr. M.W., I do have a question for you. A few times you mentioned, quote, they wanted you out. And I know you mentioned you had, most of your bets were on the smaller side, but you said several times, quote, they wanted you out. Could you give a little more explanation?
I'm glad you asked me
or-
that. Yes,
or-
okay.
Or a little more explanation and/or your reasons for making that comment?
Okay. Back in December when I had this hearing, all I was trying to prove that I was a small-time gambler. That was all my whole point, and whatever. And then afterwards, when she talked about the portal and things like that, and I started saying like, so why did they do this? What kind of motive? So I went into my Microsoft Outlook and I looked into my sent file and then looked into the month of September of 23, and then I find the 9 emails. I sent 9 emails out, okay, over and over and over again. That's not even saying how many times I was in their chats and saying, what's the problem here? What's the problem here, right? You gotta, what happened to me? I don't understand what has happened to me. So other people will say, oh yeah, I did this, or oh, I got hacked, someone did this. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that something malicious, something sinister happened, that this place did that. Now, they wanted me out because, and they had a motive to out because I was calling them out. I was calling them out. They were a bad site. They were downtime. I couldn't place the bets. I couldn't do this or like this. And I was just doing this for entertainment. I was also doing something like, before I go to bed at night, I was betting, in Europe. And like this, I'd wake up in the morning, see if my $9 bet was still alive, like this. Again, entertainment. Losing $7,000 in the course of 3 years is not a lot of money. You may say it is, but I'm sure people are losing a lot more money than that, But again, in the year of 2023, I lost $121, and I could prove that. And I had my withdrawals and things like that. Other times, I could have pulled out money in many instances, up $500, $600. I was just like, if I get over $1,000, I'm pulling this money out. And that's how I did it. In many instances, I probably made a mistake and I gave it back. But it was entertainment to me, And you make it like a 7-team parlay or an 8-team parlay. These are hard things to hit. And I enjoyed it. It was a challenge to me. That's what I did. So.
Okay. Thank you for your response. Thank you.
Commissioner Maldonado, did you have any questions?
No.
Sir, we heard testimony about the phone code, so you're saying that you never got that code on your phone?
You know what? And it's difficult. Like another point I was saying was, why didn't this company send me out an email that they were going to do this to me? Okay, that's in my emails too. Okay, so upon login, while sitting in the car, okay, I got a pop-up of asking these questions. Okay, I'm totally oblivious to this, and I don't understand what the word exclusion means. Okay, I don't know if you would know that. Who would know that? I thought it meant excluding. You want to be excluded of this? I don't want to be involved. So that's why I said it. Why did I say it for 1 year? Of course, I said it for 5 years. My mistake. Why didn't I just say I want $1,000 to limit? I should have just said that. But it was annoying. I was trying to just log into the site. I was not in the site. I was getting into the site. This is what they did to me. And I think their motive was, here's a guy that bets far too much. We're not making many money from him, and now he's calling us out, and he's complaining to us all the time. He's complaining on the live chats. He's complaining in emails. All happens, and this happens. That's the coincidence I had, and that's what I learned after the hearing on December 20th. Okay, and what I also said back on December 20th was a lot of the same here thing too, how I swear to God, I swore myself in, this did not happen. She's just taking their word. She's taking the word of a liar. They're liars. I want more people to know what PointsBet did, okay? And I made a mistake. There's another mistake by joining them. Had I just got on my laptop from the beginning, got into FanDuel, got into DraftKings, none of this would happen to me.
Just to summarize that, so you got no codes on your phone, you're saying?
I really don't believe I did. The only thing on my phone, I'm logging in just to see my figure. All of a sudden, these questions are being asked to me, okay? I thought this happened to everybody. So I asked everybody I knew after this, you ever trying to log into your sites and get upon these questions? And I said, why was I the only one that got this, right? Why would I steer myself into a responsible gambling portal? I wouldn't be here today, you know?
Mr. Chairman, I do have
Thank you.
one question.
Do you have a question?
Yes.
Go ahead, Commissioner Mullen.
Mr. Nantes, how much time, I think I may have asked this question earlier, how much time is allowed for an individual to check off those different boxes?
They're allowed to take as much time as needed to read through all of the steps, and there's a reason behind that. We want to make sure that every individual that's choosing to self-exclude, that they're given enough time to read through all of the acknowledgements, all of the waivers, and so that they understand fully what they're choosing to do. So the appellant here was able to take as much time as he needed to read through the process.
Except upon login onto a phone, into a site, okay, you're a little frustrated by the line of questioning. It wasn't in the portal. I was just trying to check my figure, trying to do that. That's all it was. Okay, so I think they did, I'm not saying I think they did this. I know they did this. I know they did this. And again, you want to kick me out like this? I like to take this public, because I'm still saying, they were not prepared for someone like me. Because once they kicked me out, got rid of him. This guy fought for 19 months.
Any other questions, Mr. Mullen? No. Well, Mr. M.W., thank you for coming. We appreciate you making the effort to come here. And just for the record, nobody said you did anything wrong. Self-exclusion, literally thousands of people do it. It's nothing wrong with doing it. So with that being said, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the initial decision and find that the appellant failed to demonstrate that he did not intentionally place himself on the division self-exclusion list as required by NJAC 13:69G-2.2C and deny his request to be removed from the division self-exclusion list prior to his September 19th, 2028 expiration date.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, ayes have it. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Tracy. Item number 13 is the joint petition of Boardwalk 1000 LLC, doing business as Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and HR Rock Atlantic City LLC, for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license to Francis Donahue pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89E, and a waiver of the residency requirement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4, and to permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President, Chief Compliance Officer for HR Atlantic City LLC and related entities pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by a petition, PRN 0692503, dated March 10, 2025, seeking the relief that I just described. Before you is the temporary qualification and temporary key licensure of Mr. Francis Donahue to serve in the capacity indicated. You have counsel for the division present, as well as counsel for the Hard Rock entities. And with your permission, I ask that they enter their appearances and address the matter directly to the commission.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Marie Jones from Fox Rothschild here on behalf of Boardwalk 1000 in HR Atlantic City.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Before you is the petition, as Ms. Wright indicated, to find Francis Donahue qualified and temporarily licensed as Vice President and Chief Compliance Officer. I know you have information with respect to Mr. Donahue, but he has a long history in the gaming industry, and we're very pleased to have him on board in this position. We've looked at the draft resolution and find it acceptable. Thank you.
You have the Division's response of no objection dated March 28, 2025 to the requested relief. The Division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objection. Thank you.
Any questions for counsel on this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the petition and issue a temporary casino key employee license to Francis Donahue pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4 and NJSA 5:12-89E and NJAC 19:41A-5.3, and permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President, Chief Compliance Officer for HR Atlantic City, LLC, Seminole HR Holdings, LLC, SHRE-SHRI, LLC, and Seminole Hard Rock Entertainment, Inc., pending plenary qualification, in accordance with the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6 and 2.7, and further grant the petitioner's request to waive the residency required as provided for in NJSA 5:12-89B4.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 14 is consideration of the plenary qualification of Donald Beatson to serve as Chief Technology Officer for Bally's Corporation. This matter was originally initiated by petition PRN 2352408 that was dated August 22, 2025, seeking Mr. Beatson's temporary qualification to serve in the capacity indicated. You considered that petition at your September 11, 2024 public meeting and granted it as reflected in Resolution 24091108. Before you now is Mr. Beatson's plenary qualification. You have counsel for division as well as counsel for Bally's Corporation, and I ask with your permission that they enter their appearances.
Good morning, Chair, Commissioners. Lynn Kaufman, Cooper Levinson, here for Bally's Corporation and Premier Entertainment, AC, LLC, the casino licensee.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
As stated, we're here today seeking plenary qualification for Donald Beatson to serve as the Chief Technology Officer for Bally's Corporation. I have reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
The Division of Gaming Enforcement filed a report dated March 19, 2025, recommending the plenary qualification of Mr. Beatson. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and find Donald Beatson qualified to serve as Chief Technology Officer for Bally's Corporation in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Maldonado,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I apologize to Ms. Jones. I was so distracted by the hustle out there that I should have called you at the same time. But if you want to come now or you want to wait? Okay, all right. Thank you. The next item is number 15, consideration of the plenary qualification of Vince A. Rossi Jr. to serve as Vice President of Gaming for Caesars Entertainment, Inc. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 2222402 that was dated August 8, 2024, seeking the temporary qualification of Mr. Rossi to serve in the capacity indicated, Vice President of Gaming for Caesars Entertainment, Inc. You considered that application at your September 11, 2024 public meeting, granted his temporary qualification as reflected in Commission Resolution number 24091110. Before you now is consideration of Mr. Rossi's plenary qualification. We have counsel for the division present and counsels for Caesars Entertainment, Inc., present via Zoom. And Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I ask that they enter their appearances and address the matter directly.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Beth Sacco, Caesars Entertainment, Vice President and Chief Counsel, Regional Operations, appearing on behalf of Caesars Entertainment and Harrah's Atlantic City, Tropicana Atlantic City, as well as Caesars Atlantic City.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Connor Martin, Deputy Attorney General, appearing on behalf of the division.
As Diana Fauntleroy just mentioned, this matter was before you on September 11, 2024, where Vince Rossi was temporarily qualified to serve as the Vice President of Gaming for Caesars Entertainment. The division has issued its report recommending his qualification, and I have reviewed the resolution, and I have no objection, and I would respectfully request that the resolution be entered approving Mr. Rossi to serve as Vice President of Gaming for Caesars Entertainment and approve his plenary qualification. Thank you.
The division filed a report on March 19, 2025, recommending the plenary qualification of Vincent Rossi to serve as Vice President of Gaming for Caesars Entertainment, Inc. We have reviewed the draft resolution and have no objection to it. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and find Vince A. Rossi Jr. qualified to serve as Vice President of Gaming for Caesars Entertainment, Inc., in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Maldonado,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Item number 16 is consideration of the plenary qualification of Heather A. Rapp to serve as Senior Vice President of Regional Marketing Strategy for Caesars Entertainment, Inc. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 2352403 that was dated August 22, 2024, filed by all Atlantic City casino licensees as well as Caesars Entertainment, Inc., seeking the temporary qualification of Ms. Rapp to serve in the capacity indicated. Her matter was considered at the September 11, 2024 public meeting. Her temporary qualification was granted by the commission at that time, as reflected in Resolution 2409-1111. Before you now is her plenary qualification. We have counsel for the division present, as well as counsel for Caesars Entertainment, Inc., present again via Zoom. And I ask that they address the commission directly.
And Beth Sacco, Vice President, Chief Counsel, Regional Operations, Caesars Entertainment, appearing on behalf of this petition, or this plenary qualification for Heather Ann Rapp.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. Connor Martin, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Good morning. Again, this is for the plenary qualification of Heather Ann Rapp to serve as the Senior Vice President of Regional Marketing Strategy for Caesars Entertainment. This matter was before you on September 11, 2024, and Ms. Rapp was granted her temporary qualification. The division has issued its report recommending qualification, and I have reviewed the resolution, and I have no objection, and I would respectfully request that it be entered and approved for Heather Ann Rapp to serve as the Senior Vice President of Regional Marketing Strategy for Caesars Entertainment in her plenary qualification. Thank you.
The division filed a report on March 19, 2025, recommending the plenary qualification of Heather Rapp to serve as Regional Marketing, Senior Vice President of Regional Marketing Strategy for Caesars Entertainment, Inc. We have reviewed the draft resolution and have no objection. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and find Heather A. Rapp qualified to serve as Senior Vice President of Regional Marketing Strategy for Caesars Entertainment, Inc., in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 17 is consideration of the plenary qualification of Keith T. Barr to serve as an outside director for MGM Resorts International. This matter was initiated by a joint petition, PRN 247-2404, dated September 3, 2024, filed by casino licensee Marina District Development Company, LLC, doing business as Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa, and its parent company, MGM Resorts International, seeking the temporary qualification of Mr. Barr to become the 12th member of the Board of Directors of MGM Resorts International. You considered that matter at your September 11, 2024 public meeting. Temporary qualification was granted as reflected in Commission Resolution 2409-1113. Before you now is the consideration of Mr. Barr's plenary qualification.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Marie Jones from Fox Rothschild here on behalf of Marina District Development Company and MGM Resorts International. We've looked at the report for qualification of Mr. Barr as well as the draft resolution, and we found it acceptable and we urge you to adopt it. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division filed a report dated March 28, 2025, recommending the plenary qualification of Mr. Barr. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objections. Thank you.
Are there any, are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and find Keith Barr qualified to serve as an outside director for MGM Resorts International in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Item number 18 is the joint petition of Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC for the qualification of Boardwalk Air 1 LLC as an entity qualifier pursuant to NJSA 5:12-85.1 B5 and C. This matter was initiated by a petition filed the petition was filed March 21, 2025, PRN 082503, seeking the Commission's plenary qualification of the newly designated entity qualifier, Boardwalk Air 1. The matter before you, you have counsel for the division, counsel for the Hard Rock entities, and you, at your last meeting, you had a full vetting of the new Boardwalk entities. So this one is just an additional designation of the Boardwalk Air as it is a wholly owned subsidiary of the holdings and the casino licensee. So with your permission, I ask for the appearances and address the commission directly.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners, again. Marie Jones from Fox Rothschild here on behalf of Boardwalk 1000 and HR Atlantic City.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
This petition, as Ms. Faulkner said, is for a subsidiary, Boardwalk Air 1. This entity was formed in connection with the helicopter, the ownership and operation of the helicopter that you probably see land and take off sometime, which so far has been a great success. It is basically a entity just for that. So with that, we've looked at the division's report and the draft resolution, and I'd urge you to find the company qualified.
The division filed a report dated March 25th, 2025, recommending the plenary qualification of Boardwalk Air 1 LLC as an entity qualifier of casino licensee Boardwalk 1000. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objection. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and grant the relief requested in the petition, and A, find that Boardwalk Air 1 LLC and its natural person qualifiers have complied with all requirements regarding the submission of information necessary to the Commission and the Division to evaluate PRN 0802502, and B, find that Boardwalk 1000 Holdings LLC, Hard Rock Tri-State AC LLC, Tri-State Partners LLC, Hard Rock Atlantic City Investor LLC, Seminole Hard Rock Entertainment LLC, SHRE/SHRI LLC, and Seminole Hard Rock Holdings LLC all remain qualified as required by NJSA 5:12-85.1C3. And C, find each of the designated natural person qualifiers, James F. Allen, George Goldhoff, Nanette Horner, Michael Sampson, and James Tierney, to have previously been found qualified by the Commission and still remain qualified pursuant to NJSA 5:12-85.1. And D, find Boardwalk Air 1 LLC has established compliance with NJSA 5:12-82D 7, 8, and 10, and NJSA 5:12-85B, And E, find that Boardwalk Air One LLC has established by clear and convincing evidence that it possesses the financial stability, integrity, and responsibility, and the good character, honesty, and integrity required by NJSA 5:12-84 and 85.1. And F, find Boardwalk Air One LLC qualified as an entity qualifier of the casino licensee, Boardwalk 1000 LLC, all subject to the extent set forth in the findings and subject to the conditions in the resolution.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Maldonado.
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper.
Yes.
And Chairman Pelosi. The final item for your consideration is agenda item number 19, which is the joint petition of Marina District Development Company, LLC, and MGM Resorts International, requesting permission for Donna Langley to assume the duties and exercise the powers as an outside director for MGM Resorts International, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by joint petition PRN 09-02502, dated March 31, 2025, filed by the casino licensee, Marina District Development Company, LLC, as well as its parent company, MGM Resorts, seeking Ms. Langley's temporary qualification to serve as indicated as an outside director of MGM's board. We have the same council present, and with your permission, I ask that they proceed.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Marie Jones from Fox Rothschild, here on behalf of Marina District Development Company and MGM Resorts International.
Morning again, Jordan Hollander, Deputy Attorney General on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
I didn't even sit that time. I figured I'd just stay out. We have before you the petition for temporary qualification of Ms. Langley for an outside director of MGM's board. We are very excited to have her. She has a lot of experience in the entertainment industry, so we think she'll be a great fit for their board. We looked at the draft resolution and urge you to adopt it. Thank you.
You have the division's response of no objection to the requested relief in this matter. The division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objection. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and authorize Donna Langley on a temporary basis and prior to her plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers of an outside director for MGM Resorts International, subject to the conditions contained in NJAC 13:69C-2.7D and the requirements set forth in NJAC 13:69C-2.7C3.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Maldonado.
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper.
Yes.
And Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. In accordance with Resolution 24111203, the next closed session shall be held on Wednesday, May 14, 2025, at 9:30 a.m. in the Commission offices.
This is the public participation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak?
Mr. Chairman, I have been advised that there are no email comments.
The public participation portion of the meeting is now closed. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Ayes have it, meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.